Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, we're gonna find out who's who and what's what. And I'm talking about this issue of the oil, so-called crisis or war that we witness. Now this, I think, it's an artificially created crisis, and that's basically or mainly coming from the sanctions imposed on Russia. That disrupted the whole thing. There's a reshuffling of who are the suppliers. Demand is the same. The demand is the same. It's just the suppliers. Who are they? And then the price. And then the oil cap sanctions. They would play a big part into the readjustment of the price for the crude oil. So we have here some upset people, and these are from Saudi Arabia, if you can believe that one. Now, this article comes from Sputnik. It's from today, 27th of October 2022. And it's in quotation marks. Oil war, and then it's done with a quotation, unleashed by Biden's SPR release could mean $300 a barrel crude, analyst warns. Now, the release of SPR is the release again of oil from the US oil strategic reserves, which is bad. It's bad for the reason that I explained many times. Imagine you're a household and you have your savings, and all of a sudden saving account, and you got money there stashed for something, and then you go and you have a job, and then you start spending, but you spend more than you earn. So then what do? You put the little thing that you don't have from spending to earning. You complete that by going and getting money from your bank. But that's a finite number over there. So if you continue that for some time, the bank account is going to go juk until it goes away. Then what? So this is what's happening with Biden. Incapable of providing energy in this situation, oil, because of the sanctions and oil caps and all that BS, right? Artificially created. They are going to get more than they got so far. And the article is going to talk about it. And I will chip my information and my data in. So on Tuesday, Saudi Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman warned the Biden administration that its decision to further chip away at the U.S. emergency's oil reserve by releasing an additional 15 million barrels of crude could result in quote-unquote pain in the months to come. Washington moved to open the taps after OPEC Plus agreed to cut production. They did it before. In March, the Biden administration did the same thing, and they opened the taps of the U.S. oil strategic reserves, and they sucked out of it 180 million barrels out of the reserves. The reserves have a total of about 714 million barrels, and they were not full at the beginning, because they're going to tell us how much we still have over there. So Biden sucks more, 12 more, 15 more. It's not a lot. They already got 180, so right? So Saudi Arabia's back-to-back warnings this week against using energy as a weapon and against a hurried rush to transition away from traditional fossil fuel to green energy is based on Riyadh's desire to preserve stability in energy markets and the global economy as a whole. Politician analyst Dr. Ahmed Al-Ibrahim said, well, not really. Hold on. Not really. The Saudis don't give me... This is a Russian article, okay? So it's with the Saudis now. They're friends, more than the traditional friend in the Middle East. So what they do, the OPEC decided to, because the price was dropping, they said, okay, we hold some oil production. It's going to hurt the countries that want to buy it, which is, among others, the United States of America. And they're going to be seen at the pump, and we're going to vote. Supposedly, it's a connection between the midterms elections here and the Saudis and the OPEC Plus. It's not only Saudis, stopping and dropping their production. So it's not that the Saudis wanted to balance it. It's more than that. Okay, and I'm quoting him here. It is clear that Washington's decision to release around another 15 million barrels from the strategic petroleum reserves onto the market, that's going to last about 7 days. Because these guys in OPEC will get out 2 million a day, and they're gonna put 15 million a day. So that's how much. If you just balance it, it's gonna be what? 7 days and a half. Good job. I think it's all done by tomorrow. So it will be painful for the energy stock by taking 15 million barrels from the strategic petroleum reserves, said the Riyadh-based specialist in Saudi-US relations. The observers pointed out that draining the SPR now may result in shortages in the event of an actual energy emergency. According to the latest Department of Energy figures, America's emergency sweet and sour oil reserve currently has about 401.7 million barrels in its inventory. So they sucked 180, that means they were like 500, they were just full at about what, 580 million barrels, if there are 400, let's put it this way. Dropping by double-digit rates every month since March, when the Biden administration announced that it would be tapping the stockpile to try to get gasoline prices under control. They did for about 3 months or so, with the US economy consuming about 20 million barrels of oil per day. The SPR currently has enough crude oil to last just 20 days if production and imports were somehow halted due to an emergency. So if these guys say bye-bye, these guys got 20 days just to suck from there. But they have their production as well. I'm talking about the United States. The SPR stocks have already fallen to their lowest level since the mid-1980s. The additional release comes after OPEC Plus agreed in early October to slash oil production by 2 million barrels per day starting in November, about 2 days or 3. In response to uncertainty in global energy markets, US officials have criticized the decision and vowed to retaliate, because that's what they know how to do. That's how they know how to do. They can negotiate. It's either or, you my way or freeway or whatever. Highway. Freeway, you're faster. So anyway, it's threats, blackmail, regime change. These are. And then the last one, we simply invade you and whop, basically. That's what happened with some countries, remember? So let's see what's going on here. Blackmail and threats. They will retaliate. Good job. And that's how you have friends, right? Al-Ibrahim characterized that the administration's move to release more crude as a step akin to a declaration of an oil war by the White House, and warned that it may lead to a repeat of the unprecedented situation which took place in April 2020, when disagreements between Saudi Arabia and Russia on output led crude prices to briefly dip into historically unprecedented negative territory, leading to a crash of the oil market and the devastating consequences for some crude producers, including the United States of America. And I'm quoting, "I think this step is uncalculated by the Biden administration." They're just darts, I'm telling you. Look at them. You got Yellen too in all the... The only thing right now in the Biden administration is how to win the midterm elections. So they are politicizing oil in the internal politics of the United States. And this is something very different from what the OPEC Plus is doing by actually stabilizing prices of energy around the world and not actually politicizing oil, the observer stressed. I told you that intellectual, very scholar, Jewish scholar from the United States, he died, Stephen Cohen. He was a professor emeritus of Russian studies. Very, I admire that guy. Fantastic. Watch him on YouTube in some lectures and debates, or just being invited to certain weasels. And he's fantastic. He was talking that Russia thinks in centuries. These guys think of elections. Americans. That's how they think. But anyway, that's what he said. Oh my God, how can you say that? We're the best. You're the best. Yeah. Commenting on the Saudi energy minister's warning that the draining of the US energy stocks may lead to the painful consequences, Al-Ibrahim explained that the pain could impact the oil market in a number of ways. And I'm quoting, "At the end of the day, consumers will either need to pay $300 per barrel or chaos in the market is going to take place," he warned. suggesting that the $90 per barrel price tag for oil may very well become the new normal thanks to inflation, raising insurance and shipping costs. Ali Ibrahim argued that this may be the right price that we are going to see for oil for many decades from now. Again, America, I'm quoting, again, America is selling their LNG for 5 times the cost to Germany and France, and nobody is talking about it. The US is not discussing it because it's a revenue stream for the administration and they are looking for their own benefit only, and they are not looking at how OPEC plus members can benefit from oil supply, the Observer says. Well, you don't know that yet? Come on. And it said green transition, beautiful dream meets reality. On Wednesday, Saudi Finance Minister Mohammed Al-Jadaan called for more realism from nations seeking to transition to green energy, emphasizing that the process could not be completed overnight. And I'm quoting, this is more recognition now than the thinking about energy and renewables and climate change, and trying to imagine that the transition is going to happen in one day have now become more realistic, that actually the transition would take not only a year, but 10 years, possibly 30 years. So we need to invest in our energy security, but at the same time not neglect climate change, he said. Okay, very good. So it says the Saudis say green transition may take generations to implement. I think that's accurate. But hey, these guys have a different plan for us. So is there a manufacture war? These guys, nobody complains about the LNG, but they complain about the oil. That's how things are ran on this planet. So I wonder what is the Americans' plan for those 15 million barrels? How long? 1 million a day, 2 million a day? What's going to be the ratio? And if you do it 1 million a day, you're still short, and that means the price is going to go out. And it's. I'm upset because I see that these guys are playing games. They're not doing it for us, or for the country. They're doing it for profit of certain companies and interests. This is what bothers me. And the thing is that we argue with one another. Oh my God! Wow! Look at those the Saudis. Oh, look at the Russians. Look at that. And those guys over there, the fat cats, they make a lot of money, and we are just focused on our little disagreements here, when actually they are running with a big sacks of money right there, and we're like, oh my God, that's a penny over there, oh that's my dime, oh my God, and those are with the billions going with, oh my God, trillions I guess they go now. Billion is like Austin Powers, $1 million or whatever it was, or whatever, we changed that. Anyway, thank you very much, $1 billion or something. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.